day. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to show off some cool stuff that you're going to be able to do with the new Mission Control as well as the new Manicure colors. Been kind of playing around with the design. Show you what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, so I have a nail that we've built out, and this was cover flamingo. And what I'm going to do is just, I've kind of prepped it, made it ready to go. And what I want to be able to do is I want to create basically a smooth surface to be able to work with. Now, one of the things I do to get it ready, because I want to have kind of an opaque background. So before I start, I'm just going to take a little bit of PB, little protein bond, and just go around just kind of the edges, right? Really just the edges, and that way I could secure that cuticle area as well as the edges of the nail. Then I'm going to use Fizz, right? So what I recommend doing is, for those of you, again, who work with the Mission Control gel system, this brush right here, the striper brush, has a little bit longer hair. This is a necessity. And then I'm going to use the gel Master Gel Sculptor. So what I want to be able to do is get a really thin background first, right? So all I'm going to do is just kind of brush on this really thin, opaque, white background. And the reason why I want to be able to do this first, and you could do this with gel polish, I just choose to do this with Mission Control because I feel that I could get on a really nice opaque, and it doesn't matter whether the surface is going to be a little bit blotchy. What I want to be able to do is just kind of use it. It's kind of like painting a wall, right? What we want to be able to do is lay down the primer first. And that way, this is going to give us room to lay down our color. So I'm just going to really firmly kind of brush this on, and then I'm going to get that inside the light, and I'm going to set that, right? So, okay, so we have it whitewashed, okay? So new Manicure colors, right? We have General Mission. I'm going to be working with Adulting, which is this beautiful pastel Mission Control color. I'm going to be doing quite a few designs with the new stuff that we have coming out. I just wanted to kind of lay it down to show you guys. And then I have Floaties, which is this beautiful neon pastel color. And then I'm going to lay down a little bit of Vexed, which is this. I'm going to combination of everything. So what we're going to do first is take this color, right, which is General Mission. I don't want to glop this on, but I do want a nice even coat. So what I'm going to do is just kind of set it right down, right to the back end. And for me, right, just kind of get with that cuticle area. For me to get tight to the back, what I can do is take some of the color and then, with this detailer brush, and just kind of move the color to the back end to try to get this coverage as perfect as I can to the cuticle area. Then what I want to be able to do is use some of the paint. So I'm going to go ahead and take Adulting, right? And again, I don't want a super heavy coat because the consistency of this is a lot thicker. So what I'm going to do is just kind of run this alongside, right, just a nice even amount with my detailer brush kind of along the edge, right? Just really try to get this coated on so that it's running directly even to the side, right? And then what I'll do is the same thing with Floaties as well. Just get a nice even amount on one side of the brush. And then what I'm going to end up doing is just coming down and just kind of following it, right, just along the edge. So one of the things, again, that's nice about this is I'm just loading the tip up and then just like allowing the brush, right, to kind of fall in place. I don't want to paint a heavy amount. All I'm trying to do is just kind of follow along the lines, trying to cover up as much as I can. And then last but not least, what I'm going to do is use a little bit of Vexed, right? And then I'm going to go a little bit heavier on this, right? Just right along the side. Again, just trying to follow along the edge. Boom. Okay. And then what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take a really, really thin chain. And what I'm going to do is just kind of lay it across and then just allow this to kind of fall down through the surface, right? Just like that. And again, I want to be kind of careful, but I'm just kind of pulling and dragging this through to kind of create, right, this marbled kind of effect as I'm coming through. And then, obviously what you can do is just use, right, some of the detailer just to kind of pull through the edges to kind of get that to drip. And then what I'll do is this is going to be kind of my background. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and set that inside the light, right? Once we have this on, right, and you can see how everything is kind of pulled through, then, remember, all I'm trying to do is establish a background. So then I can take overdrive. And then what I want to be able to do is use the very fine tip of this just to kind of, right, I'm going to kind of outline some of these edges and obviously come through. Excuse my heavy hand, but what I'm trying to do is create the lightest of lines, but depending on how heavy your hand is going to determine how thick, right, some of these lines that follow through and chase down. And all I'm trying to do is, again, create an effect where, I can outline some of these. Doesn't have to be crazy. It's just kind of a cracked effect as I'm chasing through, right? Keeping my hand as steady as I possibly can. What I want to be able to do is just really use the tip of the brush just to kind of float its way through, right, and try to chase out some of these lines, right, just to enhance the design and create a really cool kind of an effect all the way through the nail. Keeping your hands as light as you possibly can is really going to determine whether you're able to build out thin, tight lines, right? Trying not to shake. A little bit too much coffee this morning. But again, as you can see, right, as I'm chasing through the design, and you can see how thin everything is, right? Which is really, really cool. As I create more pressure, right, and I'm just enhancing. All I'm doing is kind of chasing around the edges just to make sure that, right, we're outlining some of the effects here. But it does make a huge difference, when you have multiple colors involved. All right, cool. All right, so again, all I'm doing is kind of chasing around the edges to kind of create that kind of cracked effect. And then once we're done, kind of just outlining kind of all the edges, I'm going to go ahead and get that inside the light and just kind of set it, right? And then, you know, the best part about it is once the background is actually set, then what we can do is we can go ahead and coat it with finished gel. So I'm just gonna freeze it inside the lamp as long as it takes me to kind of trace out the other designs. And then everything is thin enough where if I take a real healthy amount of finished gel, right, then what I'm gonna be able to create is I'm gonna be able to seal the design fully, right? And then, you know, again, like you can see how tight everything is, right? Let's go ahead and get that inside the light. If the nail is built out well, then what you're going to kind of get my lines tight is, you know, I'll just touch the tip, and then from the top, if I'm running, right, if I'm trying to create straight lines, I don't want a lot of pressure. Kind of want the brush to be on top, right? So that when I'm actually dragging through, I could try to just drag and create as straight line as possibly can. If I'm doing edge work, if I'm just trying to do random stuff, I'll kind of press down, then lighten up the tip, and then press down again, and then just kind of move around to create squigglies. Okay, so you'll notice now, right, this is done. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of oil on the surface. But, you know, having the ability to take a combination between the manicure, the mission control manicure, right, and then going all the way through, like it didn't add any bulk, right, to the surface of the nail. You can see, and with that white background in the back, I'm not gonna see, right, that pink, right? I'm not gonna see that pink nail. What I'm gonna end up seeing is, again, a really, really thin, you can see the design on all levels. Hope you guys liked it. Nothing too super crazy, super easy to do. All you need, again, is just to marbleize it, use a chain to drag through. For those of you guys who have different options, I'm sure you're gonna be able to create some wild, you know, kind of tie-dye effects. And I'll see you back at nail school. Have a wonderful day. Peace.